We were actually proclaiming that. We were proclaiming, devil, get out of that man. And he was screaming and we were just shouting. We both, my friend and I, we were just talking, yeah, God, come into that man. You died for him. We were proclaiming. My God, my friend was speaking in tongues while I was speaking in German. And we were just proclaiming and proclaiming. And then suddenly he just broke down. Hey, welcome back. Yeah, you just saw that clip and it was really like that. I was frightened. I didn't know what to do. But check out my story. Yeah, so my best friend, he was actually 1 year in England and we're in Germany, as you know. And he came back and like 2 weeks later there was a big event in our city. The city has about 100,000 people living there. So it's a kind of pretty city, not too big, not too small. And there was a large park and it's like you guys in America, you got that often, like in parks you got like those concerts and stuff, and that was one big concert in that park on that day. We were there and we actually spoke before the concert. We spoke with a black man and he was the lead singer, and we didn't know that at that time. So he was on stage, he was like preparing some stuff and we were in front of that stage. We checked out the techniques side of things and stuff. And he came to us and said, hey, what are you looking for? And we just spoke with him and said, we're in a band too. We like to do worship, actually Christian style. He said, oh, that's really cool. And we actually, at that time, I was in a DJ group, so we showed him that too. We were just talking about that and he said, after the concert, we should stay here. He wants to talk with us. And he got a label and he wants to talk with us. So that was like, oh wow, he got a label? That's what musicians always wait for, somebody with a big label coming and checking them out. So we thought, oh, maybe that's an awesome experience, that's an awesome opportunity. Yeah, that's an awesome opportunity. So we stood the whole concert at the front. So we were the whole concert in front of that stage and we were just celebrating. And after that concert, he actually drank a little bit of alcohol during the concert. There was a summer concert thing in that park, so he drank some wine on stage and stuff. It was quite cool and he was a really awesome singer. And so after stage, he was like a little bit drunk. It was okay, but he was a bit drunk. And yeah, he got us and we went backstage, my friend, me and that artist. And he actually drank some glass of wine there too and spoke with a couple of his people there and drank some glasses of wine too. And about 30 minutes after that event, we left the park with him and he was like, okay, let's just go out of that park and let's just talk. And he was about 28 years, he was a bit smaller than I was, and he was, just high five. And he felt quite nervous, or his lifestyle was nervous. He was like, okay, tell me. And then he was in the next point. So he was always like not on the point. And we thought, okay, maybe that's just his lifestyle. And so we walked out of that park. There was a restaurant, it was closing at that moment, but he was drunk. And he said, let's get to that restaurant, and we actually didn't enter it through the normal door. We entered it through a little tree and got on that terrace. I don't know if that's a word in English, but we went on that. And we sat down and the waiter came and she said, oh, we got only 5 minutes left. And he said, oh, that's okay, I'll pay you some bucks extra. And then she got us some juice and he got some alcohol. And we were just sitting there and we were just talking about all that stuff. He was getting a bit weird, but we thought, okay, maybe he's getting drunk. At that point, my girlfriend was in the park too with her friends, and I had to get her home that night, and it was now 11:30-ish. So I thought, okay, I get my girlfriend home. It takes about 30 minutes, and I'll be back, and we talk with him again about all that singing stuff, label stuff. It was exciting at that moment. And so I got her back, I came, and he drank some more glasses of wine. Then nobody was in that restaurant, and then it got like serious. So my friend and me, we were sitting on one side of the table and he was sitting on the other side, and suddenly nobody there. Everything was black, the restaurant was off, the people were gone. We just had our glasses and we were just sitting there, and suddenly he just stood up and he just screamed. And we thought, oh, what is he doing there? Did he have a lot of alcohol? Yes, he had, but is that like why he was doing that? And then he was going on that table. Imagine that would be the table. And he was like doing that over the table and doing that to us and doing that. And he was like just doing that all the time, like 2-3 minutes. And we thought, okay, what is he doing? And then he started speaking something in Latin. and doing that. So he was speaking I don't know Latin, but he was like speaking Latin and doing that crazy stuff. And at that point, my friend and me, we were like we grew up in church, so we knew about demons, we knew about all that stuff. And at that point we checked, all right, there's something wrong going on. That's not good. And he was doing that. And then he said, like, do you see that, guys? And he was like really in that moment. And we thought, okay, there's something wrong. There's really something wrong going on. He said, stand up with me. And we were a bit afraid because he was like drunk. He had all the demon thing and he had some muscles. So we were, okay, let's stand up. We don't want to get punched. We don't want to get any anger. So we stood up and he was doing some crazy stuff, like getting our hands up. And at that point, my friend and me were just like praying. Like we had eye contact the whole time and we were just saying, oh, that's not good. Let's just pray. And we just prayed in tongues the whole time. Even when he was something saying, we were just saying, Jesus, Shada, come on, please go get to that man, free that man. And he was just getting louder all the time, and he was more freaking out, and we really did not know what to do. And at that point he just screamed, I have fear, I have anxiety, I don't know what to do. Then he just looked in our eyes, what are you doing here? And suddenly he didn't know who we are. But again, we talked for half an hour or even 1 hour. So he was looking in our eyes and saying, what are you doing here? Who am I? And he was like really crazy at that point. We told him, hey guy, you are loved by Jesus Christ. And because we knew that was something spiritual. That was not him, that was like something spiritual. And we wanted to get that man out of that demon. So we just said, hey, you are loved by God. And then he said, who? You know that God? And he was like getting crazy. And then he just broke down and we thought, okay, did our prayers help? And he was crying, sitting there suddenly. And we said, hey, can we pray for you? And then he was, no, please don't just leave me alone. And we thought, okay, interesting. And we were starting prayer, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, just that prayer, and he was praying with us. And after that he said, guys, please help me get on that table. And we thought, okay guys, that's a glass table, that's not good. But I got him on the one side of his arm, my friend got him on the other side, and we're just lifting him up on that glass table, and it didn't break. And that was good. But he was just standing there and screaming again, and we thought, okay, is he screaming out those demons? What is he doing? And then he came down and said, let's leave that place. We said, okay. And he said that his hotel is about 20 minutes footway that direction. So we thought, okay, let's get him, let's bring him there, maybe it helped. Let's just get in a conversation again. And then we went out of that place, away from that restaurant, and suddenly he was like, before we went to that restaurant, he was like talking with us normally about music, about labeling, about all that stuff. We thought, okay, that's crazy. And then that was so crazy. Imagine, it is like the city was empty. It was 12-ish at that time. So the city was empty and it was a big road besides the main road and nobody was there. And we just sat down in the middle of that street, like we 3 people, and we just prayed. And I prayed, hey God, it's so good that you're here, you love us. And I was praying and we were sitting there in the middle of that street, in the middle of that road. And then were people walking by and we were just sitting there and praying. And after I thought, that is so important what we're doing now. And maybe it's changing that guy's life. And then he said, okay, let's get back to the car. I don't want to walk 20 minutes. So we got back to our car that was parked in front of the restaurant because that was next to the park. You remember, at the moment we entered the yard of that restaurant, he was freaking out again. And at that time we knew, my friend and I, that place had something that was not good. It flew something, we didn't know that, but we knew that place is crazy. We entered that yard and 2 meters later, he was freaking out again. And he was screaming and he was pushing us and he was screaming at us, who am I? And he kept us asking, who am I? Who am I? Tell me who I am. And at that point, we didn't know, okay, who is speaking out of that man? Is it really that demon? And if we say the devil, that demon is gonna run out. Or is it that man under the control of that demon and he wants to hear his name and not the name of the devil. He had a really Arabic name, so we were not sure about how his name is spoken, so we didn't know how to speak his name. And then we just calm down. And then he was like freaking out. And my car only had 3 doors. You know what that means? Somebody has to go in the back. And then my friend got in the back. I was getting in the car and I said, come on, get in that car, we're gonna get off that yard. And he got into that car screaming in my car. Like, after that situation, I was thinking, guy, what did you do? You let somebody with demons, in his mood, get into your car and driving through a city. But he got into my car and we were driving off that yard. And suddenly he was normal again. We thought, okay, that's crazy. And then in that whole time we were driving to that hotel, my friend and I, we were praying and we were getting him to that hotel. I was actually signing the bill at his hotel because he was drunk and tired and he didn't know how to ride. So I was signing his hotel bill and he was paying it obviously, but I was signing it, and my friend and I, we got him to his hotel room and we closed that door behind him and we just ran because we were so afraid. It was now 2 o'clock in the morning and we spent with him 3 or 4 hours and our hearts were like beating and beating for that whole time. So we were just running out of that hotel room, get into a car, we drove off so that guy can't come back, because we knew we changed something in his life. And we knew we actually will never see him again. But we also knew that we gave our best. We prayed for him, we prayed with him. We told him about Jesus and what Jesus did for him, that he died for him. We talked all about that stuff with him. So we did what we could. So we were driving like off that to the Autobahn, that's called how the highway is called in Germany, like to our homes. And we were just sitting in our car and just thinking, hey God, what was that? There was a crazy moment in our lives that we will never forget. Like getting in contact with demon and devil so deep, so close. There was something we will never ever forget. At that point, when we did not know what to do, like when we sat in that restaurant and he was just standing up doing weird stuff, at that point we knew it was from the devil. That's what we knew, and that was what our pastors teach us and what the Bible has written, and that's what we knew. But at that point, we did not know what to do. So we just prayed. That's what I want to encourage you. Like, maybe you don't get in contact with a guy who's like really controlled by demons, but maybe you get in touch by people that are doing bad stuff. They are doing wrong decisions after each other. Maybe it's somebody in your family and you don't know what to do. But I want to encourage you, when you don't know what to do, just keep praying, because God knows how to solve any problem, and God has a plan for you and for that guy you want to pray for. And even if you don't see something moving, I know that maybe like in 10 years, maybe in 20 years, maybe when he dies, he maybe remembers that night that was really special to him, when 2 people, and that's what he told us the whole time, why are you guys helping me? You don't know me. And I can't give you anything. He was so thankful for 2 people talking about God's love. And I think he will never forget that. And I think maybe I will never get in contact with him again. But I know that God moved something in his heart. He didn't change him completely. Like, I think we helped, but God has to do the rest. I don't think we got out of him every demon and the devil and everything out of him and his frustration and all that other stuff that was in him. But I think we did a part of that through Jesus, and that's what I encourage you. Like, maybe you don't get in contact with demons, but prayer can change the world. And if you don't know what to do, just pray and God will answer that.